Hey, we're in the Shake, and today we are going to be talking about Rosaria, and she is very unique character. I gotta say, she has one of the greatest design of all time. She looks pretty cool, and not only that, she is pretty unique because she's an air type units that you don't really see that much within the counter side. So she is very special units, and in this video we'll talk about the usual thing like performance of her within PvE and PvP, and also what I think about her at the end of the day and if you should pull her or not. But yeah, that's pretty much for the intro. Let's get into the video. So let's talk about her skill sets. Her basic attack is pretty fancy. She is just doing the basic attack, but she is creating these small flames, which looks really cool in terms of effects, and she shoots this to enemies, doing one ballad hits, and she is actually doing a lot of damage with this skill. Her attack attribute is really high, so she is able to do a lot of damage. DPS wise, her basic attack is actually really good, and the fact that she's able to stack her attack with her passive and such, this basic attack will be actually doing a lot of damage at the end of the day. I'm going to show you guys some of the gameplay later in the video that you are definitely able to see what kind of DPS she really has. And let's move on to her passive skill. Her passive skill is called the Owner of the Throne. Permanently increase attack by 1.5% with each kill up to 15%. So this passive skill is incredibly good because the main reason being that let's say she gets up to 5 stacks and she dies away. Then you kind of think that if you deploy her again, her stacks will be resetted and you have to start from the zero. No, when you deploy her again, and you will be able to keep the passive buff where you were at before. So let's say if you're at the half point and if you deploy her again and get more kills, yes, that will stack up permanently once again up to 15%. It will be quite beneficial within PvE activity where there will be a lot of enemies spawning within the short duration. Then you are able to stack up a lot of attacks and you can deploy her again, and I will talk about her special skills. But you can, when you combine with the special skill, you are able to quickly get a lot of kills and a lot of damage and have a great DPS going on. So that's why she is really good. Additionally, when you max the skills out as you get more HP, if you max the skills out, you will get immunity to all damage for 4 seconds upon deployment. So this is quite important because we'll talk about her special skills next. So passive skill wise, really good attack boost. It's kind of tricky to get each kills for sure, but she already has a really high basic attacks, so she is able to get the kills very nicely. So when we move on to her special skill, remember this 4-second immunity that she gets after she is deployed. So it's called a destructive light. So she shoots fire blazing beams at the enemies in front, causing hit stuns and AoE damage. This has 3 ballad hits, and this does a great amount of damage. As you level up the skill, you will get more damage to the skill, which is really good. And once you max this skill out, she will get this special ability where redeploying her will reset the special skills cooldown and also cause a hit stun to target in special skill mode. And this ability is really good because it will go really nicely with the 4 seconds immunity she gets as she deploys, so she is safely able to use his special skills without taking any damage or get taken out before using it, and able to do a lot of damage with this and kill your enemies. And while doing that, even if you don't kill your enemies, let's say if they're within the special skills animation, they will still get hit stun by the skills. So this skill is incredibly good. So be minded, she's still a 4-cost unit. So to utilize this, it's not easy as you think. It's not like she's a 2-3 cost units where you can just deploy again really easily. It doesn't really work like that. But there will be opportunities where she is able to, and those places she is able to do a huge amount of damage for sure. Then we'll move on to her ultimate skill. That's called a Punishing Edge. Rise from her throne and summons the fiery sword and swing it once, inflicting AoE damage on enemies in front of it and levitates them. So this is really cool skill. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite skills within counter side. She gets up from her chair and she just throws this flame with her sword that she summons with it. Its cutscene animation is really cool as well. It just fits her really well. Her characteristic, her voice, everything fits nicely with the skill. I gotta say, this is one of the best skill they created within this game. And the effect is really fancy, nice purple flame sword, and the sword looks cool. And like I said, you really feel like she is a powerful character. You can definitely tell. She is very strong character in terms of story setting, and she is also within the game when you acquire her. So this skill, my favorite, it does great damage, very good AoE range, and a lot of ballad hits, and the damage is really good. And also going along with her other passive skills, and so when you redeploy her, you are able to get additional cooldown time. So this will definitely help you spend your ultimate skill more, which does a great damage. While you will, after you finish using this, you will get this special skill charged up ready because you redeployed, and you are able to shoot this laser beam to do more DPS. Only downside she really has with the skill kit is that her passive skill is incredibly good, but to stack up those attacks to get the maximum DPS going on, she really needs to kill those targets, and this is a little bit hard and tricky. So she needs a little bit of manual control or adjusting your auto comp to correct weight for her to get the maximum kill fast as possible. But once she gets to 10 stacks, oh man, she's gonna destroy a lot of DPS meters. She is able to do so much damage just with her basic attacks, and additional charges she gets within special skills, and the ultimate skill is just does extra damage. But like I said, she already has a really high attack stats already, so just the basic attack will be doing a tons of damage. We'll show my Korean account in soon, and we'll see what kind of damage she is able to do. Her gear is a little bit more flexible in my opinion. Like I said, her basic attack does a lot of damage. So you don't have this set yet, so I'll take this up. If you want to use her within Gauntlet, I think definitely the best setup will be definitely going with the attack setup as of now within C server. You should be definitely able to do a lot of damage by just stacking up your attacks and able to get attack, because you want to do maximum amount of damage with this hit as you deploy her, especially within PvP, because she will get invincibility while she's using this, and the more amount of damage you can do with this, you're able to dish out a huge amount of damage, just take down the enemies with single hits, and you'll probably feel really good. The enemies have no real way to counter that. She won't get stunned from, let's say, Shion's counter either. So she's just able to dish out this attack and invincible during that. So having attack sets, stacking up attack all the way could be a really good choice as well. Now, my personal choice as you reach the end game is definitely something along with more of the attack speed. Crit damage, I think if you really want to go crazy and get lucky and play with RNG, I think you can get some benefit out of it. So in my opinion, the best set you can get for her right now with the C server is definitely attack speed. I think a lot of ranger units, they can definitely take a huge benefit within the attack speed, because their basic attack tends to be pretty decent and able to dish out a lot of damage. Her special skill also do a lot of damage, be aware of that. So skill recharge set definitely won't be bad on her, but I feel like her basic attack with the high attacks she gets, attack stats she gets, that I think her basic attack is actually really good. But overall, I think she is really good character. I think you can definitely run both skill recharge set as well as attack speed sets, and as you go on in the future setting, I think you can definitely find a better setup, like using the blade set. This is one of the sets that you can get within the Shadow Palace, and they are able to get some attack going on as well as additional skill charge or attack speed. So I think overall this is probably the best set for her at the end of the day. So that's probably the end game gear for her, or just go with the mate sets what you have. But I think all those three options are really good options. So yeah, that is pretty much my option for the endgame gear guide for Rosaria. Like I said, I think a lot of set options work. She is pretty flexible. I don't think she's really locked to using certain slots or anything. So go ahead and figure out what you want to use and let me know your result with it. For PvE activity, I think she's definitely one of the top units that you can use for a lot of early PvE activity, like the simulation training. Within PvE setting, being on the air is definitely a huge positive, because there's not that many enemies that prioritize attacking within mid-air. So unlike PvP, where there are definitely some units that's able to counter the aerial units pretty well. So within PvE, I think you don't have to worry about those enemies, and she is safely able to do a lot of damage and kill a lot of targets, and able to stack up her attack buff and continue to do a lot of damage as she goes on. In terms of endgame PvE contents, I think she is definitely really good. She is pretty regular character that you'll be used within a lot of endgame activities within Korean server. She is really good within the Shadow Palace, especially the number 3 where things start to get really hard. She'll be really good within that activity. And overall, in general uses, I think she is definitely one of those characters within PvE that get used a lot, and you will definitely feel her power as sometimes she gets buffed within certain contents like what I'm doing right now. This is the weekly ranking contents. So overall, I think my review of her within the endgame PvE activities, raid wise, if you just kill those like the small monsters, 2, 3 or even 5 of them, she will definitely do a crazy amount of damage and able to stack a lot of damage. I'm already using her in the C server and she is showing me good results, doing a lot of DPS. And then, or if you go for something like the ranking contents, you should be definitely get good results with her if you want to reach the high score. Then we also have contents like the guild boss raid and stuff like that. She is definitely also good within those contents. She is able to dish out really good DPS within the guild raid bosses. So definitely I would say she is one of those PvE characters. When it comes to PvE, she's definitely good around in pretty much every endgame content and early like level content, doing story mission or simulation stuff like that. She's also very good in this. So overall, I can't really say anything bad about her. Like I said, being on the air is already a huge advantage within PvE, and she already has that, and she does a lot of damage, and it really fits for the class she is. Now, when it comes to PvP, I think she is in a little bit tricky spots now. So I tried to run some C server gauntlets just to show you guys some gameplay, but I wasn't really successful. And overall, so I was just straight up say within Korean server, she is definitely very hard to use. There's a lot of characters that's a great amount of AoE damage, and they both hit aerial as well as a ground type. So she is definitely not a tanky unit. She's basically a great example of glass cannon. She's able to dish out so much damage so fast, and the invincibility helps her for that 4 seconds to dish out the damage. But the further after that, if she loses that buff, she will get killed very easily. She will usually get hit by the 1 or 2 hits and she'll be dead. And also there's characters like Karin Wong within C server right now, and she will definitely just hit her within 1 or 2 hits and she'll be gone from the map, and your 4 cost units is gone like that. When she first came out in Korean servers, she was just incredibly good, destroying a lot of bases. But now where the C server is at with the Karin Wong, actually ironically, even though I said she is pretty bad, but I also mentioned in that video that she is really good at countering aerial units. And Rosaria, as long as Karin Wong is not around, she can definitely be really good. But when the Karin Wong is around, she will just get destroyed so easily. The Karin Wong has a longer range than Rosaria does, and the Rosaria, it just can't take the hits from her. Sometimes if you play smart and if you deploy within a lot of enemies coming in front of you with utilizing her invincibility as she drops in for that 4 seconds and shooting that special skills, yes, you can play really smart with it and do a great damage. But there are definitely some counters out there for her, and there will be more counter coming out in the future where they do a lot of damage and they have pretty good, sometimes they prioritize aerial units, sometimes they do more damage to aerial units. So there will be a lot of rangers and snipers like that, and her single damage usually not good anymore because since the defender unit got this patch where they have maximum damage cap, they're definitely able to withstand her special skill attack, and once she's done that, she loses her invincibility and she just gets taken out by defender units. For my opinion, she is definitely not good within PvP, but she has a long-lasting power within PvE. So at the end of the day, what do I think about Rosaria? I think Rosaria is just really cute. Her skins are really nice. Her skill animation is just crazy good. They put a lot of effects on her to make her look cool. I think she's definitely one of the best characters the developers has created. She's very unique, and I'm just glad she exists. Definitely one of my top choice when someone say what kind of characters do you like within counter side. I can definitely say Rosaria is definitely one of my top waifu character. And like I said, not only she's a waifu, she is really good in PvE. So I would definitely say she's definitely one of the top tier characters in terms of ranger class, and hope you guys able to get her, because like I said, I think she is just so unique, so pretty, so cute, so smuggy. The smuggy anime girl seems to be a big deal in recent years, so yeah, she definitely jumps on that ship as well. But anyways, that is pretty much it for my review of Rosaria. My final verdict, she is really good in PvE. She definitely got some usage within PvP, but surely there's also a lot of counter for her, so she's definitely not going to be the meta shifting units, but she is still usable in certain cases. So if you are more caring more about PvP, she might have a less appeal to you, but as you do a lot of endgame content like farming gears in the future, you will definitely gonna find her being really useful, and you will definitely not regret pulling her now and using her until that time. So overall, that is my opinions on Rosaria. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for making this video kind of late. My bodies are still sore from COVID shots, the vaccine shots. So hopefully I'll be okay. I feel much better than I did this morning. This morning it was pretty hard, and I actually had to go to work for a bit. So I came back, started working on this video and more. And I still gotta work on tomorrow and the whole weekends. But I will definitely have some time off for next week, so I will definitely have some stream with you guys. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, thanks for watching. This is Jake. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.